Hello and welcome to This is Private Practice. I've started this video laughing today because I couldn't work out how to press the big button to hit the record button to actually make this video happen. Wonder if my brain's a tad tired today. It's been a bit sad today. I've been on my own. The fabulous Sophie thought that her car repair was going to take an hour or two this morning. But like most things with cars, what you think is going to happen is rarely the thing that does happen. Don't know about you, but I like my car to just work. I like to get in it and know that it's going to work. I like my computer to do the same thing. I like my smartphone to do the same thing. And I certainly like my bank accounts to do the same thing. I don't enjoy having to figure out problems to things that should just work. Yeah, I can be a little frustrated by things that don't work when they're supposed to work. Anywho. It's Wednesday, which is otherwise known as Hump Day. So congratulations if you're watching this video, you've almost made it over the hump. Not a big believer in the hump because I'm a big believer in it. I just don't want to build my life around having to navigate this speed bump or this hump every week. I want my days to be full of fun and full of feeling accomplished and knowing that I've made some significant difference in someone's life today. Tiny little coffee cup today, but I want to have a shout out to my friend Carol who gave me this coffee cup because I miss her and I haven't seen her for ages, and I'm really hoping that we're going to the same event next week. So Carol, if you watch this video, which sometimes you do, I miss you. Just thought I'd let you know. So I'm using your cup because I miss you. Okay, so what has today been like in the life of building a private practice? Well, it's been more statistics and trying to uncover the band-aids that have been placed over the way we do things around here over the last 8 years. And that's something that I think happens for anyone who starts off on their own. You just do things on the run. And it's one of the key things about being an entrepreneur. And just because you're in private practice, I don't necessarily think it means that you are an entrepreneur. You need some entrepreneurial thinking and activity in your world, but there's a big difference to being a clinician and an entrepreneur. Anywho, so one of the features of being an entrepreneur, if you study around it, is that people who are entrepreneurs will just keep going and doing things and working it out as they go, and taking risks and doing things and working it as they go. And there's quite a lot of that when you're building a practice and you're not following a system and you're not following someone else's prescription for you, or you haven't bought a franchise. Because when you buy a franchise, you're basically buying someone else's way of doing something. And there are some great franchises around, and some people are really well suited to that. And some people are really well suited to just taking a prescription out of a box or out of someone else's head and applying it and then making it their own. I haven't done that. And I'm not very structured in the way I think like that. So as you can appreciate, I don't do that. I do have structures and processes that we need to implement, but I don't have the start here at A and get to here at Z. So what's happened in my business is I've gone, we need to build this thing and we need to build it now. So we need a thing to make that happen now. And then the team grows, our customers' demands change, the landscape of the work that we do changes a little bit. There's legislation changes or credentialing changes. So you kind of put a band-aid over it, promising yourself you will get back to it one day, and lo and behold, you haven't gotten back to it. So if you imagine that happening for 8 years with every aspect of your business, that's what we're dealing with at the moment. But that is the only way I am going to get this business to grow. Because you see, at the moment, the business is still very much about me. It's in my head. I don't necessarily have every consultant's client load in my head anymore. Whew, thank God for that. And we know that I am no longer, I don't have the biggest clinical caseload in my business. But if I wasn't here in this business couldn't function. So essentially, I've created myself and some other people a job, which isn't really the definition of a business. And it's certainly not true entrepreneurship. So I'm wanting to move beyond that because I can't grow. There's only so much my head can take. There's only so much my energy can take. There's only so much I actually want to friggin' do, physically do. Excuse my nieces and nephews who just heard me swear. Anywho. So learning how to take the band-aids off and then trying to fix the process and getting to the root cause of what's going on, and then making sure that we develop a system and a process and a practice guideline that not just meets our end result, which is getting money in the bank, but that we're serving all the people that we need to serve along the way. So our clients, my clinicians, our suppliers, our customers, they all need to be supported and served along the way. So just throwing up a new document or just putting a new procedure in or just barking a new instruction at someone isn't the way we do business around here. But we do need to peel back the layers of the band-aids, which is time consuming and energy consuming. And I don't like it, because what it does is it overwhelms me with all the things that I thought were done that aren't done. And I prefer to be going off and playing with the fun things over here, creating new stuff and doing new stuff and buying new things and shiny things and bringing on more clients and writing a new program and getting these videos up on YouTube and, oh, God forbid, putting them up as a podcast for people. I'm not doing any of that because I'm sticking to the things I know need to be done to ensure that we can grow. Because if I just keep slapping the band-aids on, what happens if you don't clean out the infection of a wound? It goes septic, and things are really bad. And that is an emotive analogy, but I think it's an accurate analogy. If we don't clean out and fix up the wounds or the gunk or the things that aren't working in our business, then what we're going to do is create a toxic environment. And if it's toxic for us, how many other people is it toxic for? The other problem that happens with that is that you end up with a culture that's not your culture. And if you end up with a culture that's not your culture, then you'll end up with a brand that's not your brand. And I'm not saying that you need to have all your ducks lined up in a row. And I'm not saying that you need to be perfectionistic about that. I'm not saying that at all. I do not say that. What I am saying is that if you are struggling with growth and you've got clients coming in the door and you've got people who can execute the work, then maybe the grown-up thing that we need to do is look at how we're limiting our business because we haven't got the stuff out of our heads, and we become the bottleneck in the business because everything has to come through us. People can't make a decision without us. People can't execute work without us telling them how to execute work. I'm over that. I don't want that pressure anymore. That's not empowering. It's not transformative. That's micromanaging. And I'm going to call myself out here. It's actually quite lazy. So, yeah, calling myself out on my 8 years of laziness, which I haven't been lazy. Let's be real. This hasn't been a focus. It hasn't been appropriate to be a focus because I've been marketing and doing work and generating income and marketing and doing work and generating income. I'm not harsh on myself here. There's no shame and no blame. This is building a private practice. I want this practice to thrive. I know that we can serve double the amount of clients. We have the capacity on my team to be able to serve double the amount of clients that we have at the moment. Bring them on. The thing that's going to hold me back is the admin and the operations and the way I do stuff here. I've got the right team, I've got the right people, I've got amazing customers, I've got amazing suppliers and people that we joint venture with. We're ready for growth. I'm the person who is the problem. So we're fixing it. We're taking off the band-aids. And I am so grateful for the Sophies in my world who can help me do that, which is awesome. So have you got some band-aids that need to be taken off in your business? Are there things that you're hiding under the carpet, pretending that one day you will get to them? Am I talking to anyone? Well, I want to encourage you to just take one band-aid off. One tiny, tiny little thing that you need to take off and fix, finish, complete, restore, bring to fruition, recreate. Just one tiny little thing. Please don't tell me you're going to rewrite an entire manual. I'm talking about a page of a manual, if that's where we're headed. What's something that you're hiding from? What's something that you know is a lid in your business? If you are brave enough, share it with me in the comments below so I can support you and encourage you and make sure that you are championed because you were brave enough to put a comment below. So this is Private Practice. Looking forward to talking to you again tomorrow.